If you think that you need years of experience to build a solid portfolio, you've got it all wrong. Let me give you my strategy that has helped me land international clients, local clients, and high ticket clients, and that has saved me so many times. And I'm here to share my strategy with you also. Let's start by understanding what a portfolio actually is. Okay. So a portfolio is not your resume where you need to put your years of experiences, what tools have you used, what clients have you worked for. It's purely about showcasing how you approach a problem. So, if you had worked on a campaign before, how did you approach the problem? How did you solve it and the results you got from it? It's not going to be an issue if you have never worked on a campaign before. You can always pick up an existing campaigns of some companies and showcase how would you have approached the campaign differently. So this is how you can showcase your portfolio, talking about your thought process, results the clients have got before, and what would you be doing for them if you had campaigns similarly? The second thing that we need to understand before working on a portfolio is who are we actually targeting? So, for example, if you are applying to a fashion company, you're not going to be showcasing your work for a SaaS-based company or like an e-commerce platform, right? It's not relevant to them, and they would be like, our niche is a lot more different. So you need to make sure your portfolio has work that showcases similar brands that you could approach or you have approached before, and how did you solve the problem. So this is how you approach on how to make a portfolio, and it's not going to be same for every client. So you need to cater it, you need to modify it every single time you're applying for a company. So that is something that you need to make sure about before applying to a company. Okay, so let's start by talking about how a portfolio should be. So I have divided the portfolio into five sections that every portfolio must have. So the first one is introduction. It basically need to talk about who you are, what you do, and how are you going to help them, and what kind of services are you providing to them. So start by talking about a bit about your experience and why are you approaching them. Okay, so, like, if you are like a social media manager, talk about, hi, I'm a social media manager. I've been working in this field for 2 years. I found your company on LinkedIn. It feels very resonated with what I do as a marketer, and I have worked on something similar before, and I feel very confident that I can help you get the results. So yeah, like something similarly where you are providing them with something stat that this is how I can help you. So the next thing that you need to talk about is your services. For the example I gave before, the social media management one, if I was making a portfolio for social media management, I would not just write like I would be providing social media management services. I would be very specific about what I'm going to provide, like analytics, content creation, analytics research, reporting, monthly reporting. Like be very specific about what you're going to provide, because as a client, it helps them understand what kind of services you are providing and have a clear understanding between you guys, because after one point, like social media management could include a lot of services which the client must be assuming and it's not actually in your package. So it's very important for you to be very specific so that it's very transparent between you and the client. So the next part would be the case studies of the brand that you're approaching for. So if it's a fashion brand, I would pick up some fashion content or fashion case studies that I have worked on. So if you are maybe an influencer on your personal Instagram, you can always include those case studies also. You can include every single case study out there that you might feel it's dumb, but it's the way you approach. That is what the client is looking at right now. It could be like an assignment you did at college. It could be anything, but it needs to just showcase your perspective of looking at things and how you are solving it. So please make sure that it's not vague. It's very much written in terms of showcasing how you approach the process and how you got the results and how you aim to get the results. So make sure it's very detailed as possible. How does a good case study look like? You need to make sure you are stating the problem, your strategy, how did it solve, and the analytics you got out of that strategy. So these are the four metrics that you need to make sure you are including in your strategy. There are a lot of multiple ways of actually looking at this also. I used to always go on, other freelancing platforms like Behance, Contra, Upwork, Freelancer, Fiverr to look at what other people are doing, how they are presenting their strategies, how they are presenting their case studies. I used to look at them and understand the whole thought process of how I can do what and how can I integrate what they are doing in my case study too. So have a look at them, get a clear idea on how you can showcase your case study, and then start working on the case study. And at the end of the case study, after you're done with the case study, make sure you are putting a CTA in a sense of how that they can contact you, because a lot of times you might be mailing them, or like they want maybe like a better way of communication with you, so they might message you on WhatsApp or something like that. So please make sure you are putting your details at the end slide and with a CTA, so that it just sends, like, if you want like a pricing of this thing, or like if you want, you are okay with that, you can put out the pricing in the portfolio itself if you are making like a proper individual pictures. So yeah, that's how you basically structure it. I would also be talking about there are certain things people do that has, or like I did, that helped me reach a better limit. Okay, the first mistake that I did was I thought so much about how should I present my portfolio. Like it could be a website, what could I be like? It could be on Canva. No, should I was very much confused. I made one on every single platform and I was like, no, it's not looking good. I don't want it like this. It's okay, like don't overthink it so much, because nobody gives, like, nobody's that concerned about how, on what platform you are using to make a portfolio. It just needs to be a very clarified portfolio where every single thing of how you approach things needs to be properly showcased. It needs to communicate to the client on how you work and how would you be helping them. That is the whole point. It's not about the platform. So like it could be a website, it could be a PDF, whatever you are comfortable, don't overthink it, because I thought about it a lot. Like I don't want you to make that same mistake. The second mistake I made was gave a lot of thought about how should I portray it. I know that is very important, but after one point, it's about the clarity of the way you portray it. Like it needs to have a structure of your thought process rather than fancy designs or something like that. I personally was in marketing, so I felt the need of having like a very aesthetic or like a very communicative portfolio. At if you tell me right now, it I could have not given it so much thought, because clients normally don't look at it so much. It could be a lot more simpler, but I thought about it a lot. I went on different platforms, looked at case studies, how people are promoting it, how people are showcasing their case studies, and did a lot of research to finalize the design style that I am looking at. And yeah, that is how I, came to a conclusion of how I want my design to look like. Yeah, that's it for today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment below. It just helps me motivated to make more videos. And yeah, if you want like a separate strategy on how you can actually go about this process, I've made a document actually. Just comment below, comment, or like a portfolio. I would share it with you guys. So yeah, thanks for watching. Do subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.